I know. I did that before. It's not cool. But I'm gonna eat a candy. I made a mint. All right. We'll get into this. Good afternoon again. Once again, Treaty Six. Welcome back to another podcast episode on our Seventh Generation podcast. Um, like I mentioned earlier, we are doing another episode today, which is right now. We'll get into that in a second here. So just for the viewers out there, in case you missed it, we have a Oiler ticket draw that's active right now. And how you qualify for that is through the last episode we did this morning with Marvin and Janine. Marvin Misto, Janine Muskego. um, So how you get in is we want to raise awareness and we want to promote that MMIW/MMIP walk that's coming up on April 13th. And how you qualify for the Oiler ticket draw, which is tomorrow for the game on Saturday. You have to share that video we did with Marvin and Janine, and you also have to comment on that video, because I was looking at the page just like before we went live here, and based on the settings on your guys' Facebook pages, sometimes the privacy doesn't allow us to see who shared the videos. So when that happens, we're not able to put your name in the draw because we don't know who shared it. So one way, if you guys want to shut your phones, one way of, I kind of lost my thought there, but we sorry, I lost it. Okay, Oiler ticket draw, share the video. Oh, comment, because we don't always see who's able to share, but when you comment, we know who shared the video. Another thing I thought of, because we're gonna be going live 3 times today with this program. This is the second one. I'm gonna put this episode into the draw as well, so you could share this video as well, which qualifies you into the Oiler ticket draw that's happening tomorrow. I'm also in the process of training a couple young guys right now to help with our live streaming, so we'll be going live again today from the arena. We'll be training over there, and then we'll go live there, and then sharing that video will also get you into the draw. Share and comment. So you have 3 opportunities to get your name in the draw for the Oiler tickets. And again, the cutoff is tomorrow afternoon, and the draw date will be tomorrow evening for the game on Saturday, Battle of Alberta, Oilers versus Calgary Flames. So I think with that, I'll leave it at that. We'll get into this. So I think with that, we'll start off with a brief introduction. I have a couple ladies here. So question for the ladies. Before we get too serious, who's the boss in the office and who brings the best snacks?
Not Carmen.
Pam brings the best snacks.
Carmen never has lunch or food. And I'm the boss.
Oh,
Just kidding.
my bad. Okay, hold up. Okay. I gotta set them, or I'll do it in a bit. Okay, so moving on. Can you introduce yourselves and tell us your roles in the healing and wellness department? And what nickname do you guys have for each other? All right.
Well, my name is Pam Lewis. I'm the addictions counselor at the Onion Lake Healing and Wellness. I don't know if I have a nickname. Do I, Carmen?
Mouse.
We can't see it on there.
Okay. So Pam Lewis, addictions counselor at Wellness. Next.
My name is Carmen, and I'm the addiction support and crisis interventionist. Um, I don't think I have a nickname. Mm,
We
Baby
don't
girl?
tell you to your face.
I heard your guys' nicknames, but I don't wanna
The Haglers.
put it on. Just kidding, I didn't. Okay. Moving on. Okay, I think this is the one. Who's the loudest one in the office and who
Pam.
drinks all the coffee?
Carmen.
Okay. If you could describe the work you do in one word, and one funny word, what would that be?
Oh my God.
Fun.
Oh,
When Pam's there, when we're together, it's fun.
Yeah.
annoyed. Just kidding.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's get serious.
How do you
here,
know I
guys.
feel that way?
So I got a message from Dr. Saxon and he said, make sure the girls are there to work and it ain't a comedy show.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Only if I get a raise.
Okay. Let's talk about the addictions program. What kind of support does your team offer for folks struggling with substance use?
Well, we help with getting them into treatment, detox centers, one-on-one counseling with addictions. There's what other?
AA.
AANA.
Al-Anon. Carmen, you want to add anything?
Can you ask the question again?
What kind of support does your team offer for folks struggling with addiction?
There's also the transitional home too that they can go.
Utilize?
Yeah.
So right away, my first thought was offering support and letting them be heard and validated. So when they're beginning their healing journey, or maybe they haven't even started yet, there's a huge impact. I can't speak for everybody, but there's a huge impact in people who feel validated and heard. Like there's so many people that hold stuff in and don't even realize how much they're holding in when they come and let stuff out. You could feel that energy feel a lot lighter. So for me, it would be the connection, the validation.
So to add to that, I think one of the important programs that you guys do is what Pam touched on, and that's counseling, right? One-on-one
Mhm.
counseling, or family counseling, or group counseling.
Mhm.
Could you tell us what is counseling and how can it benefit individuals and families in our community?
Counseling is, well, it depends on what they want to work on. If a lot of times there's trauma that they want to talk about, understanding addiction, the cycle of addiction, family addictions, and just if they want to vent, want to be heard and not judged. I'm in my recovery as well, so I think it helps that they know that I've gone through the same thing.
Carmen, you want to add to that? Just a general question: what is counseling and how can it benefit individuals or families in the community?
It would be probably the same answer as what I answered before. Um, being heard and validated. Um, releasing.
Mhm.
That's basically how I view counseling, anyways. But because they already know what they want and how they want to live, they just have to apply it. And even just being heard could help give them guidance.
Mhm. Here's a good question. How is counseling different from just talking to a friend or family member?
Um, I think a friend and a family member know a lot about you. There could be a lot of emotions involved. I think it's easier to be more open with somebody that's trained and to do that.
You have any thoughts on that, Carmen?
I think for me, it would be so when if it's somebody that I don't know and then they come in a like for a session, um I don't know. I feel it's really up to them, right? If they feel that connection, it's usually instant or maybe even working through it to reach it. Um I forgot the question.
How does talking to a counselor differ from talking to a family member or
Oh
a
yeah, okay.
friend?
All right. So that was where I was going, then I forgot. Um so with counseling, we don't we're not supposed to answer, you know, give negative feedback or criticize or judge or feed into whatever is going on in their lives. So
And it's
um
confidential.
and it's confidential. So um they in counseling, like if we could get them to hear what for them to hear what they're saying, it makes a big difference rather than just thinking it and stuffing it. So if they were to say it and then we reword it in a way where we understand, to just let them know that we understand, and then they hear themselves, they could come up with their own answers, and they don't even realize it, like in the process. So counseling, rather than family and friends, is, I don't know if I don't even it's total it's I think it's different because there's certain ways where we can't respond or we're not supposed to respond in certain ways. And then
And everybody has like sometimes they don't have answers or anything to say, or they don't have the time. Um, and I feel like some people that I've talked to feel like they're a burden when they talk to family or friends. And so I think it's better to come and talk to a counselor. And they're all counselors are all different. If you don't relate to one, or if you don't like a counselor, you can change your counselor to somebody that you're more comfortable with or open with.
No. Yeah, just for myself on that note, um, like I've seen a counselor before a few times, and one of the benefits, or like each scenario has pros and cons, right? Whether you're talking a family member or a friend or else a counselor in an office. I think for me, one of the good things was my preference, or my what I chose was to find someone that I don't know, someone that doesn't know me, and to be able to kind of start on a clean page together, in terms of counseling and kind of sharing my issues or challenges that are bothering me. So again, the confidentiality piece and the comfortability to be able to open up and talk about things that are hard to talk about, things that you that are hard to talk about with a family member or a friend. So for me it was like beneficial in that way. And again, like to add on to that, the like training, so being having a conversation with someone who's kind of trained in the field and dealing with issues like this, um and read a ton of books, right? That's
Mhm.
kind of where it starts through the
And
school
always learning.
process. Yeah. So being able to have a conversation with someone, for example, like Dr. Saxon for myself, like he's someone I like to talk to about my issues and problems and whatever. And a lot of times we do it not in a formal way. I think I feel really lucky and fortunate to be able to have conversations with him when I bump into him, or if I go stopping over there, he'll make time for me. Um and for the viewers out there that don't know, Dr. Saxon is the director at the wellness department, and he has a double doctorate in like psychology and like all about the brain. So two doctorate degrees in the field of like mental health and understanding the neurology and biology that goes um that plays a factor into our feelings like
Mhm.
depression and grief and loss and all these different feelings and emotions. Being able to look at that scenario in the feeling context, how you feel, but also in the context of what is your body doing, how is your body responding to stress, to trauma, the chemical reactions going on in your brain and in your body, the hormone imbalances, what gets triggered, what doesn't. How can you help yourself out of depression by focusing on the biology side of things and the nervous system? So for example, for me, one thing that's really been helping me out that I'm um kind of slowed down a lot, which I'm not happy about, is just that work's been getting so busy for me. But the thing that's been helping me a lot deal with these feelings of depression and grief and loss and all these other hard feelings to
And for
deal with.
workers, burnout.
Yeah. For me it's the gym, and for me it's like joining a CrossFit program. um and one of the cool things about that is like CrossFit is high intensity interval training. So um like the intensity in these programs are through the roof. So guaranteed, by going to a session each day, doesn't matter which session it is, you're gonna get your butt kicked physically. You're gonna be your cardio, your lungs, your fatigue, your exhaustion. You're putting your body through that intense physical activity. So what it ends up doing for me, no matter how I'm feeling that day, like if it's a hard day, a tough day, negative emotions are high, when I go to the gym and I come out of there, I feel refreshed and I feel better about myself, my situation. I'm more optimistic. I'm able to problem solve with more clarity from just um getting
Your
the
endorphins.
yeah, like getting the negative feelings out by forcing my biology and my nervous system, my body to be shocked. And now you're activating the different hormones, like you said, like endorphins and whatever else. So now you start to feel good about yourself, even though an hour ago you were feeling negative and heavy. An hour later, after a shower, it's
Mhm.
like, you know what, the situation I'm in is actually really not that bad now that I think about it. So for me, that's been a really big help for dealing with mental health and stress and things like that. So again, going back to the concept of the biology, your body and the nervous system, and then these feelings of depression and all of that. So for me, rather than trying to deal with just the emotions and feelings and stuff alone with the counselor, which is good, which really helped me, which I'm really thankful for, but I also put myself into like a physical
Hmm.
shock so that
Well, it's
now,
therapy too.
yeah, physical therapy
Yeah.
actually. So now overall, I feel like I'm um helping
Balance.
myself, like helping myself out of these feelings. So I just wanted to share that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um so going back to this, unless you guys had any comments or thoughts around what I just touched on, physical, how it balances other areas,
I need to
mental.
get physical. Just kidding. But no, that's a good way of that's another way, another type of therapy, counseling, and keeping your life balanced.
Yeah. And for me, like I like to encourage that to my friends and my family who are going through the struggle, and battling these feelings and emotions. One thing I like to recommend is like work out, join a gym, or else work out at home, or else go for a walk or go for a jog or a bike ride. Include that into your daily life, into your daily routine, and watch how it helps you out of the mental and emotional.
Well, if you want to get rid of a bad habit, it's good that you replace it with a good habit. So if you're wanting to get sober, instead of going to the bar, go to the gym.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Could we talk about the addictions program and the processes around that? Maybe misconceptions around treatment,
Well,
anything around that?
yeah, well, if one was to walk in through the door, they would do an intake. Um, and then they would get assigned to a worker. If it's for addiction, it would possibly be me, Carmen, or Ernestine Wolf. Um, and the process is to go through 4 sessions, counseling sessions. It could even be NA programming, because it is required from the treatment centers, just to see if you're ready for like treatment. And then you would go and get a treatment medical, and you can get that at the Onion Lake Clinic. And you're required to do a 7 to 10-day detox, because at the treatment center they would like you to be ready to learn and ready to go through the program. Because if you're detoxing, your mind wouldn't be there. Um, and also that clients are to do half the work, like make the effort as well. So they would go get the medical themselves. They would make the calls to the detox center, and the detox required them to call themselves. Um, and then we would do some applications. Um, there are some NADAP funded treatment centers in Alberta, because we can't send people to private treatment centers because of the funding. We can only send them to like NADAP funded ones, or um, in Saskatchewan, most of the treatment centers. Um, so, and then once they get accepted, I would handle the transportation, and medical taxi will can transport a client to and from the treatment center. But if you are self-discharging yourself, it's going to be hard to get, well, actually medical taxi won't pick them up. Because, and it's due to like getting it paid for by NADAP. And
what about to get back in after you withdraw yourself? Is
oh
it
yeah, you're
harder to get back
no,
in or
you're
the
welcome.
same?
Yeah, the same process. And because you can relapse like over 100 times, and you're always welcome to go back, even to wellness. Um, so, and in counseling sessions, I like to help them understand their addiction, some healthy coping skills, or also we cannot force people to go to treatment. If we'll only, like, they're adults and there's free will, so it's up to them if they want to get sober. It's up to the person, and not like family members. Even though it's hard seeing your family in their addiction, it's really up to them. Um yeah, and do you have anything to say, Carmen?
No, I had, but that thought's gone.
Do I talk too much? I'm just kidding.
No, that's good. That's good information. Before we move to Carmen, I have another one for you, Pam. Um, could you touch on, or can you speak a little bit about concurrent disorders?
Yeah, we've been having a lot of there's a lot of people who suffer from concurrent disorders, and it's like a dual diagnosis. It's a mental illness, and somebody having a mental illness and a substance use disorder. And it's really hard because for treatment, they need you to like address your mental health, um, or and when you're, in order to like see or deal with your mental health, they ask that you get sober. So it's kind of tough. And we see a lot of people out there that have like schizophrenia and meth addiction. And it's very sad, heartbreaking. I wish there was a place, I don't know, something to help these guys out there. But it is really heartbreaking, and yeah.
So one of the, I think, key messages there is when it comes to reaching out for help from our families and loved ones. As families, I think we could do a little more than the office in terms of like intervention and things like that. But I think at the bottom line applies to any scenario where at the end of the day, the responsibility or the choice falls back on the individual.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for, if you want to start healing and helping yourself and, healing from the trauma, at the end of the day, it's a choice you have to make as an adult. And then that's where the supports get activated from wellness and everybody else.
Once they reach out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
a lot of it too has to do with awareness, accountability. Some of them, like when things start falling away, job, hygiene, when CFS gets involved, it could take a lot more of losing a lot more for them to finally realize, okay, so maybe it's time to reach out because I can't do this alone. Some do it right away when, once family services are involved, or whoever. Once they lose a job, everybody's different. So it's up to that person to have that accountability. So this, whatever it is, substance, alcohol, is interfering with my life. I've just lost my job, or family services did a home visit or whatever, should be like the first red flag or whatever. But sometimes it takes a lot more of losing things for them to finally admit to needing help or asking
Or
for
when they
help.
say rock bottom, hitting rock bottom.
But then only that person knows what rock bottom is, and that's where accountability comes in.
Accountability to yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I have another question here that's related to what we're talking about, and just for the viewers out there, educating the viewers. Are there specific counseling services available for individuals? So, for example, grief, addiction, like
Mhm.
family, trauma, things like that.
Well, we are trained in several things. I'm trained in edutherapy for grief and loss. There's a few of us that are trained. We've been offering that program to Equiscape, and it's been going good. I loved every group that we've done so far, and I think it's helpful. We could also deal with grief and loss individually, and I guess it depends on what skills the counselors have.
Mhm. What about what about family? Could we
Oh
talk
yeah,
about that a little bit?
like are you talking about family treatment or family counseling?
Yeah, both.
Um,
Like say for example, me as a man, I'm going through the stages what Carmen touched on. And one day I wake up and I'm like, okay, this is it. I want to change. And I put my family, my kids through a lot. I think we all could benefit from counseling and therapy and healing. Is there options out there like that?
oh yeah. Um, I've Brenda also does a lot of group therapy. We can also just with another counselor, we can definitely do some family counseling.
And same with off reserve, right? Like if I don't feel comfortable wanting to do that here, I want to go to Lloyd or
Mhm.
Edmonton or another First Nation. I think just for the viewers out there to know and realize that those options
Yeah.
are
Hmm.
available out there.
And there's also counselors at Healing and Wellness that are not from Onion Lake. So come to Healing and Wellness. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from healing and wellness here. Just some
Yeah, no,
realities that we face, right?
of course. Yeah. There are a lot of therapists in Lloydminster, um, in the bigger cities. I think there's a lot of virtual nowadays.
Really
Yeah.
cool. And then another thing too, I just wanted to add on what you touched on there, Pam. With the different counseling services and the different areas, grief and loss, addiction, family. I think one of the cool things with Onion Lake and the team we have over there, if a counselor or a staff member has a certain skill set and the counseling or therapy required is in a skill set outside of their range or their area. I think one of the benefits with Onion Lake, like we mentioned, Dr. Saxon, and then associate or assistant director Miss Red Iron Brendan or Brenda, sorry, Brenda. Um,
And Lori Worthing.
Yeah,
But
like
she's mostly at the Equiskeet right now.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like with all you guys, you guys could talk amongst each other beforehand and say, okay, this is the situation we're dealing with. This is the area I could cover. My skills and education only go this far in this certain area. Could I ask Dr. Saxon to join me and to deal with this? So now you're covering a wider range,
Oh yeah.
right? So you guys have that ability.
And also intake knows is pretty good at assigning clients to the right counselor too.
Deadly. Any thoughts around all of this, Carmen? Okay. Moving on. Sorry. Let's talk about we'll shift over to Carmen's area. Could we talk a little bit about the NA program? And yeah, let's start there.
Okay. Hey.
You're on air.
So the NA program is more like a support group for people that are addicted to most narcotics mainly. Um, so we come together from 2 to 3 every day, weekdays, and then like because I'm new to wellness, I one of the what was her role there?
Solange?
Solange, addiction counselor.
Yes.
She left, and then I was put in her place. So I've been kind of feeling out where the need would be in the group because of the dynamics, the diversity. I had to kind of feel out where the need would be. So we sit in the classroom for an hour, and then now we're noticing that an hour is not enough. So um she had her way of teaching, and then we have our way of teaching. Um we more or less touch on not touch on. We try to get in not in too much depth, but talk about what their issues are with what they're going through at that moment. Like getting them to the next day. If they're thinking about recovery today, then hopefully what they work on today will get them to the next day, and then they'll come back tomorrow and work on the next day. So it's kind of like a day by day or hour by hour. um they call it NA, Narcotics Anonymous. We basically come together and talk about what they're going through for that moment. And then I'm always hoping that's enough to get them like through, through the evening or to the next day.
I have a question. How does NA differ from AA?
It's basically the same. It's AA is Alcoholics Anonymous, people who suffer from alcohol, so addiction. Narcotics Anonymous is people who suffer from narcotics. Yeah, from drugs. So they could have dual also. They could do both. With our AA program or AA meetings Friday nights, um, and NA, they're but basically combined in each one. So we don't uh put a label. We just it's addiction. Basically, there's um same consequences. It basically leads to jail, death, or hospital. We welcome people without judgment. We listen without judgment or criticism. So it's yeah, same thing with AA.
So I have a question. And maybe some comments after you guys kind of speak on this a little bit. But what are the benefits of having an NA program or an NA class and an AA program where class kind of separated, even though they're the same areas, but from a client's perspective, what are the benefits of situating that way?
So basically, the NA program that we have every day, they come for that certain addiction. And then some are already in recovery, so they come for that extra support. And then for AA, they come for that specific. But some of them come to AA hoping that we can combine them. So we do our best to combine whoever is the chairperson, the uh I guess the main person, the head of the table.
Leading
And
it.
yeah. So it's really, and then there's one person that I specifically kind of harassed to come to AA because he's really good at what he does. He's good at chairing meetings, he's good at combining, and he's led the life. He's in recovery now. He's been in recovery. So and he's loud and clear. He just does a really awesome job at chairing, so I always try to get him to come and chair. Um and then he doesn't specifically say it's AA. He doesn't, put AA as a main focus. He broadens it to NA. He welcomes. He's good with his. He's been to different meetings, so that's why I harass him to come to AA.
Question. How does a person get into either program? What's the intake or what's the process? Is there a drop-in option,
They just walk in.
or is
Yep.
it pre-register, or like how
No,
does that all
They
work?
just walk in. They can call. If they call before 12 o'clock, there's transportation. So it's just
But they have to
And-
come before 2 or at 2, because them walking in after 2 would kind of draw the attention to that person walking in after 2.
Mhm. So which days is this program offered, and what time and location every week?
Monday to Friday, 2 to 3 for NA programming
At
at Wellness in the boardroom.
Okay. And then AA.
AA Fridays 6
Oh.
to 7. Sometimes we go over. Wellness boardroom, use front door. Call if transportation is needed
Cool. Good to know.
for both programs. And then there's also Al-Anon too.
Okay, before we get to that, so just for the viewers out there, just a little quick recap. Monday to Friday, 2:00 p.m. at the Wellness Boardroom. NA program is being offered there, and it's open to the public. And in order to get in on that, all you got to do is show up before 2 at the wellness office. Or if you want to pre-register, you could do that through the wellness reception. The AA program is every Friday night at 6 or 7.
Yep.
6
6 to 7 ish.
every Friday night at 6 p.m. Again, same location at the wellness boardroom.
Use front door. Yeah.
Use the front door. Moving on to Al-Anon. Could you educate us on that a little bit?
So Al-Anon is also, we go by the same rule, I guess. Who you see here, what you hear here is what stays here. So it's supposed to be confidential. So people who are suffering from a loved one's addiction, alcohol, narcotics, gambling, and the list goes on for addictions. We come together. It's basically kind of the same format as AA. We have reads, traditions to go by, like the reads. So there's 12 traditions, 12 steps, and virtues to follow. So it's mainly a support group for people who are suffering from watching a loved one have an addiction. We don't go there and talk bad about people. They come in. The purpose is to come and release what's been bottled up inside, and basically mainly looking for support.
come and gossip
Yeah.
in private.
It's just me and Carmen in there.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So when is that program offered?
Mondays from 6 to 7.
Every Monday, once a week.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And I just have to say that I took a Al-Anon when I was like young, and I'd have to say that, like, for me, everybody's different, but it works, and it helped me through um learning to deal with, like, people that I love who are addicted. So I I I recommend it.
Cool. Yeah, that's good to know because I never knew there was like I've heard that word before, but I never knew what it was and I never asked about it. So I think it's really cool to get educated on that, like what you're telling me. And again, just a quick recap for the viewers. It's for loved ones who are impacted by
Mhm.
someone in the lifestyle and addiction. Yeah, I think that's really awesome. So every Monday, 6 p.m. at the Wellness Boardroom for that.
Yep.
Another question here. If someone's listening and thinking, maybe I should go to a meeting, what's your encouragement for that?
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
I always tell them, just do it. You never know. Like, you might like it, and it doesn't hurt to try it out. You're not gonna. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
What's one myth you want to bust around AA, NA, or Al-Anon, or anything else we talked about? Just any misconceptions or anything like that?
Personally speaking, and everybody's different, but the so for me, healing through our stuff is number one. If I had superpowers, I would put the worry of what people think behind people, and just delete that whole thought, get rid of it, because what people think is nothing compared to how important our healing journey is. It's like, if we want to get better, mainly for our kids, right? Ourselves, our kids, our grandkids. If we want to get better, we have to just not care what anybody thinks. That's probably the biggest thing for me. Like,
And I bet you most of the time they're not even thinking about you. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
so yeah, I would, if I had the power, the magic powers to put that thought away for that person, I would, because that a person who is serious about their healing journey, it wouldn't matter. Like, I don't
Mhm.
care what people think about me when I don't know if I'm a tree hugger or what, but I don't care. We're all going to the same place, and it's true. Happiness is a choice.
Yeah.
Um, I had a question I forgot, but I'll go to the next question. What is, or could you each share a word or a phrase you associate with these programs? So AANA, Al-Anon. If you could associate one word to each from your perspective, what would that be?
Just one word.
Yeah.
Connection. I think that's the opposite of addiction.
Love. Unconditional love. You better move the camera before I keep talking.
You're disqualified. That was 2 words. Yeah, so I think that's it. That's the list of questions I have for you guys. We'll open the floor if you have any stories or messages or anything like that. It's open.
Um,
Is there any cool success stories that
oh yeah.
There is, but
without
they're
naming
confidential.
names?
I actually want to I asked somebody to guest speak at NA programming, and that person is going to. But coming from just like heavy addiction, and now that person is thriving, getting into programming, seeing her children. It's just amazing. And it's not just one person, there's a few people out there that are successful in their sobriety.
You know, one thing that I don't know, I don't know if it's a reward or what. I don't even know what to call it. A gift that we get from those people that come in and they're just straight honest about where they're at that moment. I don't know what the word is. A miracle maybe. That in itself, when they come and they just be straight honest about where they're at and what they're addicted to, what it does to them, who they hurt, that's where I don't know what it is. I think that's where I feel like I love being where I'm at. It's like watching someone just be honest about where they're at that moment. That's just beautiful. That's a miracle in itself. Like I just love it.
Mhm.
Kind of sounds like capturing a moment where you can actually see someone changing or transitioning or making that
Mhm.
choice to turn their life around.
Yeah, and then seeing the sparkle in their eye just from sharing,
Yeah.
it's like so beautiful. It's like, oh my god, I just want to hug that person,
It's awesome.
but I might get charged for something.
And when they're honest, yeah. Because some can just come in there and lie, and you can see right through them.
That's another thing. We're trained to pick that up. So somebody comes in and says, "Yeah, I've been sober for this long, but
Or else court ordered, but acting like they're really there. Any stories or messages or anything, Pam?
Uh,
why are you looking at me?"
I'm trying to think. I'm focusing on you.
What's the vibe like at the healing and wellness department? Only because like I know, sorry, turn the camera. Because the field you guys are in and the things you guys deal with, I know it could be really heavy and tough. But you guys are trained, and I think you guys keep each other up, pick each other up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe
Mhm.
talk about that a little bit.
I really love working at wellness. I think we're all like genuine, like minded.
Mhm.
We have humor.
We do laugh
Yeah.
a lot.
And when we need somebody, we can just walk into somebody's office and they just listen. Um,
Have a quick
Yeah.
counseling session
oh yeah, for free. Just kidding.
with each other. That's awesome. Um, yeah. Is there any other thoughts or anything you want to get out there?
Um,
Oh, one thing I should say, I was thinking, so one thing we're encouraged to do is, even though we we work 8:30 to 4:30, we're encouraged to take care of ourselves
Oh, yeah.
mentally and reground ourselves because the day can be heavy. Not to take stuff home, and that has, unless we're on call, then we always got to be ready when we're on call. But one of the things that I've started learning is to shut my phone off at a certain time, or just not go on Facebook at a certain time and just get a full night's rest.
You're
So
always on Facebook. Just kidding.
doing self-care, number one, and then that has to do with not responding, even not responding, or just waiting till the next day, next in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's
I like keeping a balanced lifestyle. Um, even I see a therapist. She's amazing. Um, I'm sober, healthy, and yeah, I do a lot of self care.
Living, laughing.
Live, love, laugh. It's right on my kitchen wall. Just kidding.
I had a question here, but I forgot it. It was along the lines of what Carmen was talking about. I can't remember. But I think with that, um, if you guys want, we can shut her down. We'll have one last little quick round table. We'll go around one by one and just closing thoughts or remarks or just anything. We'll start to my right.
so. I
Carmen.
think we should talk about the on-call crisis line.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay. Wait. Yes. Before we get there, I know what I was gonna ask now. You mentioned 8:30 to 4:30. Could you guys maybe talk a little bit about the after hours or the extended hours? Just so people know that just because you guys are off at 4:30 doesn't mean that they still can't reach out that day.
So there was a program. It's ending now on Friday, but there
Okay.
was a evening program. That's where I started from
2 to 10.
2 p.m. to 10, and then our doors were basically open for people who were wanting to talk after hours, right? So that's gonna come to an end on Friday.
Mhm.
But
There wasn't much people coming to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good chance to segue into the crisis line
yeah,
and
and
after
that's where
hours.
people would, if needed, like when I'm on, I'll only speak for when I'm on call. But if somebody needs to talk at that moment, I'll have, if not have the phone, I'm available. I have to make myself available no matter what situation I'm in. um I even take my phone to the bathroom. So
What if you're at bingo?
I don't play bingo.
Also,
Do they even
I
have
think
bingo?
I think it's important to say too that we have to think about our safety when we're on call. So there are times when we're asked to go out, um, that we have to have like our CMP with us due to our safety because we don't know what will happen.
Mhm.
Depending
Yeah.
on the call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what Carmen was saying was no matter what she's doing or where she's at or whatever, she drops all of that and
And focuses
Okay.
on the call, yeah. And then depending on the type of call it is, sometimes they just want to talk,
Mhm.
or it could be a crisis. And then depending on the crisis, we have steps to follow, like
Yeah.
what we call our CMP, and we always update with our supervisor. So
Yeah, it's not always our um decisions. We always have to um get direction from our supervisor as well.
and then there's a process and guidelines, like general guidelines for each scenario.
Yep.
So everyone's in the loop.
yeah, and every call is uh what does every call is it's every
Unique.
it's yeah, every call is unique and it's case by case. So
Yeah. Oh.
oh, so also
Yeah, go
now
ahead.
you got me going.
Yeah, no, totally. We
So
got all day.
everybody does their stuff different. Like the next person on call could
Be
answer different.
Handle it different.
Yeah. Like for me, I always have that phone, like, you know, on me all the time. I don't want to miss it, but um I can't speak for everybody else. I don't know how you do it.
I think generally though there's like a basic requirement on how you handle each call, right? Like a minimum way of dealing with the situation.
Oh yeah.
So if you have that, and then the uniqueness outside of that, right?
Yeah. And then
I think it's
especially right now,
important to stay calm because the other person might be like not calm.
Like
It's
the person calling in.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
just to help them. Yeah, it's best to be talking with somebody that's calm.
Yeah, and especially if you're calm already, right? Like control the situation and
Yeah.
bring those emotions down and have a healthy conversation.
and
Yeah.
then especially right now with all the like suicide rate is high. Like I encourage people, I like call the line if they're having thoughts. It's a suicide is serious. We're
Mhm.
losing too many people to suicide.
And somebody cares.
It's too final. It's not worth
So,
it.
yeah. I know that's a hard thing to talk about, and I don't know if this is the space for that. But I think raising awareness around that idea, um, and I think we've all noticed like the increase over the years, with like the depression and those feelings, right? Um, like yeah, and it's such a tough thing, and I think it's a lot of our younger people, like our generation and younger. Um, is there, from your guys' perspective, is there like ideas or anything like around the reasoning behind that? Like just because it's like so
And depression.
recent, like 10, 15 years. Um, yeah,
Like
Why
what
it's
theories.
what
higher
would
rates?
yeah, what would be the cause of that, or why did those rates go up when they weren't up before over
Well,
time?
you can see the addiction is everywhere. Um, even undiagnosed or you're like ADHD. Um, there it could be hereditary. There's a lot of reasons behind it, and when you're not treating it, it just gets worse. So
Um I think the internet has a lot to do with it. How we were raised back then, we didn't have that to worry about. We didn't have to worry about being bullied
Yeah.
and the bashing and stuff like that. And then I think the internet has
oh
a
yeah,
huge impact on mental health. And then behind that also is, I don't know, it's just me and my thinking, but also the awareness with MMIW, MMIP, Every Child Matters, all the things that surface from holy crap, I'm a source
Survivor.
survivor of blah blah blah, and this is what my parents went through, and then all those things resurface. So it's like brand new healing journey is starting now because of that awareness. And then some people don't even go on their healing journey, they just
Yeah.
dive into it.
Mhm.
I think the root problem too is trauma we endured in our childhood, even in our mom's stomach.
Yeah.
Like it's like children need that nurturing the first years of their lives, and it affects them in their adulthood if they don't get that. So
Yeah, and I think yeah, like the intergenerational trauma, I think is what you guys are talking
Mm-hmm.
about, right? So the hereditary comment that you made, Pam, um a lot of times, like you said, like from the womb. Um, a
You could
lot
even
of
feel your mom's emotions when you're in the womb, like if she's stressed, that stuff.
yeah, and then you look at the impacts of residential school and the '60s scoop, right? And then, like you said, the feelings, your
Yeah.
mom's feelings. So now you're inheriting that through birth genetically,
Yeah.
right? So you're already at a disadvantage before you even get
Yeah.
to this side of the earth, right? This
But
the
then
world.
we can't let that discourage us, though. Like, I was born into. My mom was probably drunk when I was born. I'm just kidding. I don't know if she was, but like, it's all up to us. We all have choices. We all led, tough. We've all had tough trials, and then it's really up to us how we're gonna deal with that, how we're gonna cope with it, if we're
What
gonna
road you
search
choose.
for, yeah. So we have the resources here, and I don't know, in Lloyd, even like anywhere, the
Yeah.
choice is there.
And I really like what you said. Like, we can't allow that to continue dictating the future of our lives or controlling our lives, the intergenerational impacts. And we all know how serious that is, right? Like, we were all, I think, victims of that as descendants in one way or another. But we can't continue allowing that to have power over us in terms of coping and dealing with that or healing from that, and allowing us to just continue abusing drugs and alcohol, right, or whatever it is, and rising above that, taking
Becoming
control.
resilient.
We're all resilient. Sometimes people don't even realize they're resilient.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
And then
that,
when that's what I was saying before, like when people come in and they're just straight honest about where they're at that moment, that's in itself resilience. Like, holy crap, I'm so. Am I allowed to say crap on
yeah,
here? Okay.
yeah, too late. Yeah, no, it's all good.
That in itself is resilience. For them to sit there and tell where they're at right now, it's like, holy man.
Yeah. Man, like, there's so much we could talk about here. Like, we could sit here all day and talk, and I wish we could. And I'm not saying we can't, but we're over an hour into this, and I think you guys need to run. But we should do this again soon,
Mhm.
and we could continue just keep diving into these different areas. One thing I believe, which is another reason why I started this podcast, was I think just having discussions around these kinds of topics is empowerment in itself, because it allows people, the viewers, to know and realize that they're not the only ones going through whatever they're
Mhm.
going through. That we're all dealing with something in our lives that's hard to deal with. We all face adversity. So I think having these types of discussions opens doorways for more discussions, especially for viewers. Say someone's at home right now and they're feeling some type of way and they're watching this, and then once we're done, that same person now feels a little more charged up to want to talk about your
And know where to
feelings,
go.
or else to reach out, or else to know where to go. And you multiply that by 10 or 20 or 50 or 100. So now you have 100, let's say, young men who are now having these discussions with somebody. They're reaching out and say, hey, let's talk about, or could I talk to you about how I'm feeling or what I'm dealing with right now?
Yep.
I don't have no one to talk to.
Mhm.
So that's kind of one of the hopes and dreams with this program, why we started it. um, yeah. So at the end of the day, I think that's something we hope to do too, is to inspire and heal our community as well, like to participate, to be um participant in that whole equation on that side, on the helping side. So for people to know out there that, like you guys said, like, you're not alone, we're not alone. It seems like it and it feels like it. Some days are harder than others, but you need to know and realize that the community is here for you. There's resources here, even if it's outside the community. um there does help. The options for help are all around us. It's just a matter of taking that first step and building the courage and the resilience, like you said, right? um so yeah, I just want to say that I really appreciated doing this with you guys, and I hope we could do it again. I think it's important and healthy to have these types of discussions.
And one more thing, there's no such thing as being ready. They just got to do it.
Yeah.
Because if they say I'm not ready, then they're never gonna be ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Just
like
do
that.
it.
Yeah. That's true. And that goes with anything, right?
Yep.
Like even us with this podcast when we first started, I know we were chatting about this before we went live, but um yeah, like if you can imagine when we first started this, before we did our first episode, the amount of stress and pressure and um like it was borderline trauma, for me to make a decision to want to go push live one day and sit here and talk about something, and over
Maybe this is your therapy.
yeah, I think this is actually um
We're lucky just sitting here with
two
two.
therapists, right? I'm just letting it out.
Don't
Uh,
cry now.
yeah, no, but it's good. It's awesome.
Yep.
And what Carmen said, like, don't wait until you're ready, or until you think you're gonna be ready. Like, you just have to take that first step, and then the readiness will come. It'll open doorways for it to come quicker, right?
And we're here to guide.
Yes.
And we have snacks all the time. Hey.
You don't.
Snacks at wellness.
No, actually, yeah, I do. For wellness, for the clients.
All right, ladies. So we'll end off here. We'll have a little quick roundtable, just closing comments, thoughts, words, or anything like that. We'll start to my left with Miss Pam Lewis.
Um, that there's always somebody there to listen. You're not alone. Reach out. You're not a burden. There is help. That's pretty much it.
Carmen.
The release after sharing is empowering, healing. It's so worth it. It and then mainly they're like 1 hour roughly. It could go 2 hours, but ultimately it feels, I don't know, the
You're
weight
not
lifted off.
suppressing. Yeah.
The weight lifted off your shoulders after releasing it's healing. It's empowering.
That's where the healing is. Before we go, one last comment. Just a little quick 30-second blurb from Carmen. Could you talk a little bit, or just promote the women's group you guys
Oh,
got going
yeah.
on?
Okay, so
Just really quick to hopefully draw in more women and girls.
the women's group started. Do you remember the date?
January.
No, a couple months ago, about.
Okay, so this women's group, it's based around, it's mainly healing, but a lot of energy work, meditation. It says meditation, but we literally do meditation. The meditation the healing that comes with meditation is so powerful. It We all have a higher self. That's where the meditation becomes effective. We learn about everything to do with who we are as women, how to be better moms, how to be better wives, how to be better friends, better partners, better coworkers, better how do you say it? Employees,
Employees,
better,
sisters.
better ourselves. It's all about bettering ourselves. Um, Getting ready for the future when, I don't know, hard times, basically, like gardening and how to in that one couple classes we talked about milling our own flour. um she's gonna teach us about that, I hope soon. But
Teaching us to garden.
yeah, gardening, energy work, everything to do with being a better woman. The empowerment I've gained from the Sundays I've attended has I don't know, taught me how to be patient with myself, how to be patient as a mom, how to be a better mom. And then I'm not no we're not perfect. We'll never be perfect. It's learning how to be better, but not perfect.
Mhm.
Um it's I don't know. It's every Sunday is like, I don't know, the healing that happens every Sunday is
I always look forward to
enormous.
Sundays.
So that's actually my next question. We're we still got 15 seconds left out of this 30 seconds.
Okay.
Well, why are you talking slow?
Oh yeah, camera. It's okay. No, I was just kidding. But so could we promote this program? Is there a date, location, time of the week?
So
How
location
could
is kind
people
of
find us?
location's kind of
Or where could people go for more information,
they could
updated
phone
information?
they could phone me. Um
Oh,
well, I've been putting my well you were putting my number on the posters, so
mhm.
306 to for more information or wanting to get involved or be a
Or else wanting to find out where it is tomorrow, Sunday. If I'm, hey, where is it? Where are you guys doing this tomorrow? Right? Or
uh
as an example.
yeah, yeah, any questions I'll answer. So 306-442-1413 is my number to call for. And if I don't answer, I'll call you back.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah,
on the toilet.
she's on Twitter. So
That sounds cuter.
just on closing note on that. So the little that I do know, this program has actually been funding the women's group. So just for the viewers out there, it's actually going to be transferred over to prevention, I think, with Don Jimmy's program and the ladies over there. But every Sunday the ladies have a women's group, women and girls, and part of what they do is meditation, sharing circle, talking circle, energy teachings. Sometimes they do cooking, like Carmen
No,
said.
we just talk about it. We don't actually
Oh,
cook.
okay.
But we
We need a
bring
kitchen.
potluck stuff.
Oh
We
yeah,
Okay.
bring
we
our
have potluck.
Yeah. So yeah, like I want to just get the word out and let the women and ladies and girls know out there that the door is open for you to join. There's no cost. The cost is being absorbed by the program. So feel free to join. I think one thing from my perspective, and I think we all understand this to a certain extent, the responsibility that the women carry in our lives, women and girls, and it can take a toll. We all know that, the scheduling, looking after the kids and the family and all of that stuff. So having a group like this, I think, provides an opportunity to kind of unplug from that for an hour or two, or however long it takes, and to go sit with other ladies and girls and just talk, have a sharing circle, right? Just get it out and see how you can help each other and plan for the next step. So you always have that resource and support outside of just a Sunday. It's ongoing, right?
Mhm.
Another thing, another thing to add would be our facilitator. Her name is Leslie, and she was the owner of Divine Healing in Lloydminster, south of Lloyd. She has since gone on her own and is now consulting. So we've she's helped us through so much every Sunday. She's pretty amazing.
Nice. Can we actually um yeah, I wonder if she would come on here
Oh,
one
that's a good
day
idea.
with a couple ladies from the program. Like we have 3 extra seats here, right? So her and then 2 other ones. Yeah, like if we can add that into the Sunday too, maybe before the program or after the program or something, and talk
Mhm.
about what you guys are gonna do that day, or
Yeah,
just promote, right?
that's a good idea.
So yeah, maybe see if we could do that the next time around or one of the next times around.
Yep.
So I think with that we'll end off there. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks Pam and Carmen for doing this, for coming to spend some time with us. For the viewers out there, again, really quick, we have other tickets up for grabs. There's gonna be a raffle. In order to qualify for that, you have to share this video and comment on the video so we know who shared it. Also, the video from this morning with Marvin and Janine, um, regarding the MMIW/MMIP walk. That video this morning, share that one and comment again on the page so we know who shared it. And there's gonna be another one this evening. We're training somebody right now on the live streaming side of things. So I think we're gonna go live tonight just really quick. So share that video and then I'll get your name into the draw as well. So you have 3 opportunities to get your name in the draw 3 times. And then we'll do the draw tomorrow for the other game Saturday versus Calgary Flames, Battle of Alberta. So with that, we're gonna end it off here again. Thanks, ladies, for doing this, and thanks to the viewers for joining us. And we'll catch up again soon. Hi,
Thank
hi.
you.
Thank you.